As expected, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is absolutely loaded with Easter eggs, references, and cameos to the wider world of Nintendo. Here's what I spotted. Beware spoilers for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The Easter eggs kick in before the movie even starts, with the Illumination ident modified to be a massive Mario Kart reference. As the Illumination logo appears, the Mario Kart starting sound plays, and one of the minions races off in a Mario Kart. One of the earliest scenes in the movie sees Mario and Luigi in a commercial for Super Mario Bros. Plumbing. Of course, we all know that Mario and Luigi are plumbers, however, this is likely a very obscure reference to the 1989 Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which saw a live-action Mario and Luigi running the company in Brooklyn. Likewise, this was the name of the company as seen in the 1993 live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie, the last time Mario and Luigi appeared on the screen in official capacity. This scene also features the only time we get to hear Mario and Luigi talking in their iconic heightened video game voices, explained away in the movie as the brothers having to have a trademark and stand out in their television commercials. While these voices are provided by Chris Pratt and Charlie Day, Mario and Luigi voice actor Charles Martinet does voice the pair's dad in the movie. One of the first scenes of the film takes place in the Punch-Out Diner, which is a reference to Nintendo's classic line of Punch-Out arcade and console fighter games. On the wall of the diner, photos of many Punch-Out characters appear, as does the duck from Duck Hunt. Inside the diner can be seen an old arcade game called Jumpman. This is essentially a version of the original Donkey Kong game from 1989. Of course, this was Mario's very first appearance, and his original name in the game was Jumpman. So, considering Mario and Donkey Kong are characters in this world, this appears to be this alt-universe version of Donkey Kong. That's also seen by the newly stylized art on the side of the machine, which mimics and slightly changes the original Donkey Kong artwork. Mario was also later seen playing Nintendo's classic NES game, Kid Icarus. We even see Mario's NES console in his home. Other stores in the Brooklyn area, aside from the Punch-Out Diner, are also Easter eggs. There's Castle Burger, likely a reference to Bowser's Castle, the Disc-Kun Hardware Co. shop, which alludes to Disc-Kun, the mascot for Nintendo Japan's original Famicom Disk console system, the Japanese version of the NES. Wizard Pop Ice Cream is possibly a reference to the 1989 Universal movie The Wizard, which was notoriously full of Nintendo references and product placement, even introducing Super Mario Bros. 3 to North America. While the movie was much derided at the time, it has grown a cult following, becoming very well known amongst Nintendo fans. There's also a French cuisine restaurant called Chasse et Canard, which translates to Duck Hunt in English, yet another one of Nintendo's early arcade games. There's also a billboard for luck cards, perhaps a reference to Nintendo's early history. Nintendo, whose name is commonly assumed to mean leave luck to heaven, opened in 1889 as a producer of Japanese Karuta playing cards, many of which are considered lucky cards. In the opening Brooklyn sequence, Luigi and Mario are seen running through a construction site as the camera pans from left to right. The brothers jump and dodge obstacles, all much like a classic side-scrolling game. A construction site was also notably the setting of the first Donkey Kong game. Another scene which sees Mario and Kong teaming up also replicates this side-scrolling visual style. Likewise, in the Mushroom Kingdom, a very similar scene sees Mario and Toad running through the world, which is very much designed like a video game level. However, this time it's more in a first-person style. Again, the training montage with Peach and Mario is very similar, seeing Mario bumping into a bunch of boxes, going through tubes, all that kind of classic Mario stuff. The Mushroom Kingdom, in fact, is full of all that classic Mario iconography. There's pipes, boxes, and hills galore. Toads are seen dispensing coins from ATMs, which are just coin-producing boxes that they gotta jump up and hit and get the coin out. There's even an antique store filled with 8 and 16-bit tools and artifacts artifacts from classic Mario console games. The Crazy Cap store from Mario Odyssey even makes an appearance. Peach's castle is very reminiscent of the castle in Super Mario 64, right down to the paintings on the wall, which you would use to transform to different levels. Inside the castle, a group of toads look over a map of the kingdoms, very similar to video game menus, allowing you to choose your mission. Another sees Luigi being chased through a haunted forest by dry bones towards a dark castle, somewhat reminiscent of the Luigi's Mansion games, which are rumoured to be the inspiration for the sequel to this movie. The sequence where Mario faces off against Kong feels like a direct reference to the Super Smash Bros. Crossover fighter games. Some of the moves that Kong pulls out feels very reminiscent. Prior to the match, Kong quips, "It's on like Donkey Kong," a once funny but clearly overused phrase that spawned sometime in the 1990s. More catchphrases get dropped throughout the movie too, as Mario regularly drops his classic sayings, "Mamma mia! It's a Mia," and "Let's go," multiple times. We also get a great look at the Jungle Kingdom, showing us Kong's homeworld, which is very reminiscent of that seen in many games. There is obviously a Mario Kart sequence here, where we see the Kongs helping Mario and company to build karts. The detail here is fantastic. There's even a slot machine-like selection tool, just like you would see on the games when you're selecting your karts and their accessories. As they all take off on their karts, there is a terrific sequence set on the Rainbow Road, which is arguably Mario Kart's most iconic track. Throughout the movie, various power-ups can be seen, such as Fire Flower, Super Mushrooms, Mini Mushrooms, Cat Suit, and Tanuki Suit. Various characters are seen taking advantage of these aside from Mario, including Kong, Peach, and Bowser. Bowser also collects a massive Power Star at the beginning of the movie, setting the entire narrative into play. Later in the movie, Bowser fantasizes about marrying Peach. In the sequence, he is seen in his Super Mario Odyssey attire. There's not too many character cameos here, though the biggest one has to be Foreman Spike from the 1985 Wrecking Crew game. In the movie, he does in fact run the Wrecking Crew, which is a rival construction crew of Mario and Luigi. Donkey Kong's family makes appearances too, including Cranky Kong, Diddy Kong, and Dixie Kong. While Yoshi doesn't appear in the movie, a whole flock of Yoshi dinosaurs can be seen briefly. Of course though, in the movie's post-credit scene, Yoshi's egg can be seen lying in the pipes underneath Brooklyn. It of course starts to crack open when you hear the classic Yoshi sound effect, Yahoo! And then it cuts to black. So obviously they're planning to include Yoshi in the sequel. Plenty of other creatures make various appearances here too, including Toads, Blue Penguins, Koopas, Koopa Troopers, Drybone Koopas, a Magikoopa named Kamek, Goombas, Spikies, Shy Guys, Swoopers, Chain Chomps, Piranha Plants, a Blooper Squid, Bitty Buddies, Brambles, a Cheep Cheep, a Big Bomb, a Boo, and a Bullet Bill. A Luma from Super Mario Galaxy also appears, as do the Koopalings rock band, who perform a song in Bowser's castle. Bowser even performs his own song in his castle, pouring his heart out with an 80s style rock ballad called Peaches, of course an ode to Princess Peach. This song sounds very Tenacious D, which is the band of Bowser voice actor Jack Black. In fact, Black apparently improvised this song for the movie. The piano Bowser plays on is seen to be called a Ludwig and Cooper, a reference to Ludwig and Co., a vintage turn of the 20th century piano maker, which are now highly desirable and expensive antiques. Much of the movie's score, in fact, is made up of bits and pieces of iconic and some obscure Mario game tracks. I couldn't possibly name them all, I wouldn't know them all, but the classic Mario theme is here, as is the Bowser theme, and there's quite a lot of stuff in there from Mario 64. The much beloved Donkey Kong DK rap also finds its way into the movie, a hilarious and much memed rap from the Donkey Kong 64 game. At one point, Luigi's phone rings, and his ringtone is the GameCube startup tune. When he answers the phone, an unknown caller is displayed as the default Mii avatar. Naturally, there's likely tons of other stuff that I missed, so if you spotted anything that I didn't, make sure to weigh in down in the comments. And at that, I also want to know your favourite Super Mario Bros. Movie Easter egg, cameo, or reference. As always, join in the conversation down below.